go get them again.
Welcome back to the Robezoe channel. I'm your host, Mark, and on the docket today we have an unboxing first impression video on the brand of Givenchy, and this is in the women's aisle. It's called Very Irrésistible Eau de Toilette. So don't judge me too quickly. This is something that I'm going to be decanting for obviously Frag Flex. So if there's going to be women's fragrances, especially designer ones like this, you might say, oh, it's a little bit off your beaten path, Mark, but you know what? I want to start delving into more women's fragrances. I've always said that on my channel, so hopefully my diehards, you're okay with that. Maybe we'll have more than 2 women on the channel posting comments. But yeah, it just opens up my palette. It's just going to really, I've always wanted to see what the whole gamut is. Including designer fragrance. Niche, I'm into, like, niche is more unisex based. Like, there's not really that line. In designer, there's still that hard line of men's fragrances, women's fragrances. And I kind of want to delve more into it and just see, especially florals that I'm not, you know, I was trying to get my palette going into some of the florals, like some things like rose and jasmine and osmanthus and immortelle. And there's a lot of florals that I already know, but there is some other ones that are strictly in the women's aisle that I'd like to delve more into. So hopefully my diehards are okay with this, but let's delve into this. I believe this was the first launch of a whole line. I remember there's a men's line of, I think, it might not have been a line, but I do have a bottle of Givenchy. I think it's Very Irresistible. And it was black and green, and it was a gourmand. I still have the bottle. I just hardly ever wear it, but it was actually pretty decent, honestly, but they just trashed it. They just never really, they went in a different direction. I think that's when they started going into the Play series. So if you haven't subscribed yet, what you doing? What are you waiting for? Especially the women out there. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. I really appreciate it. I don't know how popular this thing is on YouTube. I might be the first one reviewing it. We'll see. But much appreciated if you comment, hit subscribe, and of course hit that like button. Let's take a look at the notes beside me here. And a lot of notes that I'm aware of. Obviously, to me, it's starting to look like this is going to be a rose-based fragrance. Looking at the pink, all that, that's my assumption. But there's a lot of notes here that I already know about. This was released back in 2003, so 20 plus years on the market. Nose is behind this. You should see the nose. It's a 3-headed monster, and I'm always kind of leery about designer fragrances that have more than one nose attached to it. Now that could be by design, but it could be like the brief, the perfumier that they hired was just not hitting it correctly, so they started bringing in more noses to kind of get to the brief that they wanted. Noses. Dominique Rapillon, man, all-star perfumier. A magician with spices, by the way. Carlos Benim, another all-star perfumier, and Sophie Labbé, same thing. So we have a 3-headed monster here. 3 great noses. Let's get into it. Let's unbox this one. It is a returned product, by the way, so it probably has already been sprayed. Some of these sometimes don't look so great. Leaky bottle, blah, blah, blah. This one looks good. Highly used. Usually these are 95, 97%. Someone really, yeah, I'm going to use 10 mils and yeah, I don't like it anymore. I'm going to return and get a full refund. Talk about decanting a little bit and just getting the money back. I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing on me. I was just double checking here. So pink bottle, she's cute. So let's see. Let's delve into it. I got my strip as usual. Yes, I'm going to put it on skin. Oh, I'm not scared of putting stuff like this on the skin. Let's see what I get out of this. Great atomizer. Great atomizer. Oh, fruity. Fruity floral. Sweet. Not juvenile sweet. Okay, so there's a citrusy compound here. There's lemon verbena in the top, and I'm definitely getting that lemon verbena comes through. But the rose is your central theme here. It smells like a synthetic rose. I think there's several different roses here, but jammy rose perhaps, but not as thick and gooey as a lot of jammy roses in the niche realm. Very light, synthetic, fruity, strawberry kind of smell. That's where I'm going. This smells like your typical mall fruity floral scent. That's exactly where this mind is going. And again, I've smelt a lot of fruity florals in the women's aisle that, you know, you can almost, it's kind of like these blue scents in the men's aisle where everything just, it's a big blur. You're just in the men's aisle and you're just confused. They're finally getting out of the blue section now. And this is where this is, so it's not that, you know, it doesn't smell like a teenager fragrance to me. It has a classical vibe to it that it's almost like a step up of that, but there's no real, you know, there's no real, what can I say, real identity to this thing. Like it uses rose as its central theme, and it's kind of hard to be kind of unique with the note of rose, but it's all about your surroundings of the central note of rose. Now, rose does its thing, and there's several things that rose can do. So don't get me wrong, rose is a very elaborate note that can give you some green aspects. It can give you the sweetness, right? Jammy rose. It can give you a watery aspect, all that good stuff. But yeah, this has that fruitiness that I'm saying more strawberry leaning toward, but it really doesn't have, like, it has a color, it has a pink red hue. Yeah. But it's your fruity floral, like your typical, like when I'm putting it in a box, I'm putting this one right in the box. This is in the box of, you know, I'm done with the really, you know, sugary, even though it has some sweetness, it has some airiness to it. The florals kind of really do well here, but because the florals are kind of delicate, like the rose here seems pink, like the color. It doesn't seem like a red rose. It's a pink rose with like a little bit of strawberry hue. A little bit of that lemon verbena coming through, a little bit of that citrusy aspect up top. But other than that, there's anise in here, star anise or anise seed. I don't know. I'm really focused on that central theme. I'm not getting much of that. It's more, it's a rose-based scent, fruity floral, to me. Yeah. So a classical rose scent in the women's aisle. Nothing too crazy, nothing too great. Well composed. Obviously, there's three big noses behind this thing, and that's what you'd come to expect now because there's too many chefs in the kitchen. Sometimes they get scratchy, these kind of fragrances that only have like a whole bunch of noses in there. Sometimes they don't work. This one seems very polished. It's very fruity floral. So it really is just a step up of those highly sugary fragrances that teens like to wear, you know, above the body mists, above the sugary, fancy looking bottles, like the weird looking bottles to grasp to teenagers. Like in the men's aisle, we have like these little trophies called Invictus from Paco Rabanne. Teenager fragrance all the way. Like Carolina Herrera has one that looks like a lightning bolt. Total teenager fragrance, right? It's really, this is a step up from like that kind of thing. It's just good. It's okay. If you find it in a bargain bin, like 30, 40 bucks, yeah. If you're just starting out, a starter fragrance, yeah. Yeah, it's just good. It's just solid. It's right there. There's nothing here that evokes fireworks. There's nothing here that, you know, smells like old lady. No, it's really like, it's not mature, but mature enough that you're like, you're out of that phase that you smell like, you know, really, really sugary stuff. Now there is some sweetness to it. So again, it's almost that stepping stone that, you know, you're bringing the sugar down a little bit, you're bringing the florals up a little bit, and you're maturing a little bit. That's where this is going. Yeah. So, all right, I'm not going to poo-poo it. And there's a huge line of very irrésistible. The men's counterpart is Irrésistible, I think, very irresistible, but this one's the French one, very Irrésistible Eau de Toilette by Givenchy, and I love how this was a returned product. I wonder if they've looked at this and went, hello. So you can find this one at fragflex.com. I do have a coupon code TFG10, 10% off on any purchase site-wide. You don't have to buy just this, but yeah, Fragflex does have decants, they have full bottles, and they have products like this that are, this is not 95, 97% full, but they do have returned products that they do sell at a high discount. And this one seems like, well, we can't, 80% full maybe. That's where I would put this one at. But at the end of the day, an all right release, nothing, no fireworks here from me. Not bad. To the men out there, this is really more on the, I wouldn't call this or classify this as a unisex. Now there is vanilla, musk, patchouli. There might be a little bit of that vanillic tendency giving out that sweetness. Patchouli, no. I'm not getting any of that, but yeah, to the men out there, I think this is more on the women's aisle kind of thing. Nothing wrong with a man wearing this, but not my speed personally for me. Now that you've heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Good, bad, and the ugly. And I know this is kind of off the beaten path for me, so my regular viewers may not have anything to say. But if there's any women that stumble upon this or any men that was interested in this line, please let me know about maybe some of the flankers of this line that you want me to check out or do a video. Any content, honestly, I feel personally, because it's my channel, I feel like I'm hopefully helping someone out a little bit with the content. Any content is good content personally for me. I'm giving out my thoughts on a fragrance. Doesn't matter where it comes from, honestly. So, and as always, a great or poor fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your rose-based fragrance wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.